Speaking of a PR nightmare, you were involved in one that ended up being a whole big nothing that they made a whole big thing out of.
Which one?
The boat thing.
So people can't go on a boat and.
You're not allowed to have a couple drinks on a boat with a couple strippers? The fuck?
So what was interesting was like I had remembered it from when I was a kid. And I was like, oh man,
it was on like Jay Leno, everybody.
They took that thing and blew it out of proportion.
we're doing prep for the episode, and I'm like, well, man, I remember this thing, and I think it was like a bad thing. It was like a big deal.
I was a little young, like I didn't know what was going on. But
Yeah.
I remember.
I feel like nowadays it would not have been a big deal. Back then things were more
someone
conservative.
took a piss on a lawn. I've taken pisses on.
So we're watching the video, and I'm like, this just sounds like one of the best fucking nights ever. Like,
guess what it did? It served its purpose, right? We were already like 1-3 or 1-5, and we went on a 7-game win streak after that because it made us all stick together.
Oh, is that right?
So it served its purpose.
No shit.
Go back and look up that fact that we went on a 7-game win streak. After
A team that parties together, plays together.
It kind of goes along with that camaraderie thing you were talking about. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what it was. It was a team bonding moment.
How are they gonna get mad at Vikings going on a boat and going raiding?
Hello.
This is what we're Vikings. We get on a boat and we go raid.
So anybody who's like 1-3 right now, maybe I should go on a boat cruise.
New York Football Giants. You heard it first.
Let's go before it gets cold out. Come on. Go get out in the Hudson.
Get on the Hudson.
Have some fun.
Yeah,
Shit.
find a boat called the Mischievous and get out on the Hudson, man. Shit.
It was definitely a bonding moment, though.
That video we watched in the press.
That's
what we were talking.
That sounded like a good time. That sounded like a good time.
No, Smooth is a character.
Who put it together? Who put it together? Whose idea was it?
Or something?
Huh?
Oh, you talking about?
No, I saw the Barstool video.
Okay.
That was great. But who was the mastermind behind the?
There was 4 of us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you were one of the masterminds.
I was one.
You were a chef in the kitchen here. Oh man, and you guys booked entertainment from all across the country.
Right.
And it turns out that turns out to have been the issue, huh?
It really wasn't because you couldn't get in touch with anybody for anybody to confirm anything. You know what I'm saying? You had other people, random girls come and say like, well, this happens all the time. It's like, you weren't even there, man. Like, you're trying to just get like your little thing, but we don't know you. You don't know us.
Let me tell you, I have lived in Miami and I have lived in St. Paul, Minnesota. And if I was having a party, I would bring Miami girls. I have been in both places, and let me tell you something. I'd make a phone call to our buddy over at 11, and I'd be like, can I, please? I'd like to make an order.
I got a business opportunity for you.
All I'm saying is you guys want to purify yourself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka. Bro, that seems like it must have been one of the most fun nights of all time.
No, it actually was. This is the thing. This is where it was Smooth. I think it was his first year there, and we had just something similar the year before, but just wasn't on the boat. So he's like, oh, let's get a boat. And I was like, all right. So we put it in his hands. He was supposed to get a privacy clause signed, and he didn't. So, we got the news. That was our bye week, too. So after that, I went back to I came back to Miami, and then when we came back on like that Monday, the PR there called everybody, and I was like, what? And I was like, well, the privacy clause was signed, this and the other. And they were like, Smooth forgot to get it signed. I'm like,
oh no!
And you're the main one who want to do this, but you forgot to get it signed.
2/3 of the world's covered by water. 1/3 is covered by Smoot, but not the privacy clause.
Not that.
He missed one thing.
How could you miss that?
That's crazy.
Damn.
That's nuts.
The NDA's got to be fucking signed.
I just knew it was signed, and so I was like, oh, it's not a problem because that should have been done.
I think it's very important for our Gas Digital listeners to know, especially most of you guys are in New York. You guys are Giants fans like us. The Giants also had a boat party, but they had no scrippers, and they are 11.69 cents. They are horrible.
They had a boat party for real?
Yeah, you never saw the
There's
pictures
like
of Odell and Sterling Shepard, where they got no shirts, but they're on a boat for some reason in jeans and Timbs, looking like a Hollister commercial with Brad Wing. The other big thing is they invited their punter. You didn't invite your punter. There were lessons to be learned from this.
You don't bring the punter.
You don't bring the punter.
Come on, man.
So funny, man. They had that Barstool thing where Smoot was like, Chris Cooley's got a lot to say about this for somebody that wasn't invited.
Right, like how'd they get him to do the interview?
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, they emailed him. He's like, "I'll talk." There it is. Look at this. Look at this. Yeah.
This is funny.
What? That looks like like Blackstreet and Backstreet Boys comeback album too. What the? Why are you wearing Tim's and jeans, dude? 11 and 69.
Fashion, Gerard.
It's called fashion, babe. 11. What are they? 11 and 80 since then, man.
Ugh.
That picture was taken the bye week before a playoff game too, and the media was like, "What are you guys doing in Cabo and Miami? You got a playoff game coming up." So like some of this shit's just like dumb. Like the idea of it's a job. Like, imagine you get a picture on Saturday night, like, you've got work Monday morning. How dare you?
Right.
How dare you be out?
That's the thing, too, though, like, with fans, they get to, like, tweet you and stuff or even message you. And it's like, let me come to your job and just tell you how terrible you are. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Well, you
Like,
should. That'd be great. That'd be hilarious.
We just show up. Like, they need to have, like, little skits like that. Let players just show up to people's job with, like, a megaphone.
Well, that was like the.
You suck!
Well, you ever see the Peyton Manning on Saturday Night Live? Cut that meat! Cut that meat! You know, it's like, what are you doing, man? But that's hilarious. I mean, also they got a lot to say from a long way away, don't they? I imagine most people that meet you in person are probably very nice to you.
Oh, yeah, they're nice.
I imagine most people are very, very nice.
I've had some real vile things said about me on the internet.
Yeah.
Anyone who comes up always just wants a picture and a handshake.
Hey,
you know
can
what
I get a
mean?
picture?
They're real fucking friendly in real life.
That's the problem. That is the true.
It's the fake
That's
world.
honestly
It's
the
fake.
problem with the whole world right now is that we're living through revenge of the
Separation.
nerds, man. Like there's a lot of people that have a lot to say that evolution decided thousands of years ago should shut the fuck up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like thousands of years of evolution said your ass needs to be quiet, and now they got a lot to say. You know, via the Twitter fingers, man. It's not great that we're living through this social experiment. And that's not to say bigger, stronger, faster should rule the
Sometimes-
world, but I think it did pretty good for our species for a long time.
I think a lot of people just say things just to get a reaction from you so they can see that you've seen it.
Well, that's true. There's actually a big study done about that, and it's like the Yelp review thing, where somebody who says something negative or leaves a negative review, it's something like 10,000 times more likely to get responded to than
Right.
something positive. So, hey, I love you, and it's just like heart. But hey, you're a piece of shit. Hey, why don't you fucking show up and say it to my face?
Right.
That's how. So the unfortunate thing is when you respond to that, you're training
looking for
everybody
reaction
watching.
to
This
do
is
it.
how to. This is how to interact.
And they may
with
not
me.
feel like that, but they want to get a reaction from you, so.
Man, hey, why do you think Miami's been so bad for so long? And do you think Cristobal's the guy, even though he didn't take a knee?
Y'all
this
saw
weekend?
that game this weekend?
I missed the end, and that's the part in the group.
That's the only
you
part
we're in
I've
the group-
seen.
We're in the group chat, so everybody was kind of like, up about that, but
They Passar checked. That
So-
hasn't happened in 40 years.
they should have took a knee, but they didn't.
They ran the ball, got stripped, and then they
that's
gave
how they
up.
lost?
Then they gave up a 20-yard out on the sideline.
And the announcer's like, why are they not just kneeling on the ball?
Then a 30-yard fade touchdown. It wasn't just that it wasn't just that they got the ball stripped. They gave up 70 yards after in 38 seconds. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, dude. It wasn't
Bad.
great.
It was bad.
It was almost to the point where the gambler in me was like, what the fuck's going on here? What's happening, Vegas?
Yeah, your little conspiracy mind.
Whoa.
Shit, your gambler and your conspiracy mind getting mixed in together.
Not
there.
great. Not great.
Gerard having a conniption with a fucking board with the things.
The
in the
dollar ain't
pieces.
shit. It's tax to no win. Lord.
I don't know why Miami's not been good for a very long time. Like,
It's been a long time, man.
You had one
Since the
season-
Larry Coker days, man.
right. Because you've had, like, Alabama come in and took over. I'm going to say, like, the Florida schools in general, I feel like, hadn't been good like they used to be.
Well, they're
Yeah,
getting
Florida State, the
Florida State is
Gators,
getting
all
better
those-
now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
Georgia,
up there
and Alabama ate a lot of those SEC recruits.
And then Clemson has started to for a little bit,
Clemson for sure, and then also
All SEC really stepped their game up.
Yeah.
All the SEC has really been the powerhouse for the past decade or so.
and the smaller schools, UCF out of nowhere, undefeated seasons. USF,
Yeah.
Jason Pierre-Paul, now FAU has a decent squad. Lane Kiffin went there, so there's a lot of competition, man. And I think with the realignment and the NILs, it's like, bro, you got to really be committed to having a top program. Otherwise, I mean, how the hell are you gonna get the Caleb Williams of the world if this dude's making $20 million a year to be a quarterback at USC?
I'm gonna say a lot of it's coaching too, though, and that's being able to bring out the best in these players. Because
Really?
I see some players who went to the University of Miami and they went on to the pros, and became really good, and that's because the best wasn't brought out of them while they were in college. So it was later too. We had great coaches when I was at the University of Miami.
Was Ogeron there? Ogeron wasn't there, was he?
No. But they were able to bring out the best in the players, even down to our strength coach, Andrew Swayze, was able to bring the best out of us. So that's what's important. And then we had players who challenged each other. Like, we went out there on Saturdays without no coaches, and we did our own thing, and we challenged each other. We practiced hard at practice, and we all felt like we were the best. So we always felt like game day should be easier because we're going against the best each day. Like, that was our mindset.
And you literally were, though. You were going up against all pros.
We didn't know it at the time, but that's just how we thought of ourselves. You know, we thought highly of ourselves, clearly.
Well, you were, though.
Yeah. When we look back, we now realize it, but we just felt like we're better than a lot of these other people that we're playing against. So practice should be harder than the games. And then I remember my senior year, I used to, like me and Ed were talking, we say, by the fourth quarter, we need to have like a 21-point lead so like the guys behind us can get in, you know, and that gives them, you know, reps to like, you know, start playing the games. And if you look at our schedule, we beat a lot of people by 21 points or better.
Well, that's the crazy
only
thing.
Like
the
two teams
stat,
maybe that was like less than 21.
Even a game.
Well,
right?
the stat you and Mickey were talking about earlier, for people that don't know, it's that if your offense didn't score a point,
we'd still be like 8-4.
you would have been 8-4.
Yeah.
If your offense didn't score a point, your defense was so unreal. And that's a defense that was so good, once again, that Sean Taylor and Antrell Roll couldn't get on the field.
Wild. Wow.
Like, what, dude? Jonathan Vilma, Philip Buchanan, Ed Reed, crazy. Sean Taylor, Antrell Roll.
And that competition in practice was active. It was hot, huh?
Yeah, we went
some
out
scuffles.
there. Oh, always. You know, especially
Gotta be it,
when
right?
It's hot out
You
there.
want
People
that.
get frustrated. There's always going to be some stuff.
Did you know
that.
freshman Vince Wilfork was going to turn out to be one of the greatest defensive tackles of all time?
Nah, we could tell.
You could tell?
You could see it. Yeah, you could see it. In him.
A man that size shouldn't move like that.
Right, he has good feet.
Should not move like that. That is a dancing bear. That's you ever see him intercept, take it to the hizzy?
Oh yeah.
60 yards? That's 400 pounds going 60 yards. And that's like, he's got that low center of gravity. He's got like you ever seen an X-ray of a hippo? Like, everybody thinks a hippo is like fat, but it's actually just pure muscle the whole way. He's kind of got like that. He's like, you know, it's like, it looks like he's a big old boy, but there's no jiggle.
Yeah.
There's no jiggle
solid.
to it. Yeah.
Solid, yeah.
I mean, I remember watching him take on the center and two guards try to chip on one play, and he broke into the backfield, and while he's getting dragged down by the center and the guard that he just ran over, he grabs the running back and takes him down to the ground. And the funniest thing about it, I guess he got the guy's cage. So it was 15 and a holding, and it was an offsetting penalty. And I'm like, this guy just tackled 3 guys on the play. This is like, that's it. You should get the ball. You should get the ball back.
Yeah.
That's insane.